Well, hello everyone, and hope you're all having a great Wednesday. We're broadcasting live from San Diego, California, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us. And of course, if you're joining live, great to see you here. And for those of you that are watching the recording, good to see you as well. My name is Jean McDowell with TradersCoach.com, and welcome to Wednesday Night Live. All right, just a few housekeeping items before we get started. Those of you that are not familiar with the GoToWebinar platform, if you could all just take a look at the questions area and then maybe type in your city or country or wherever you're watching from. And let's see, it's summer, it's kind of hot. How about if you type in the temperature? It's been in the hundreds, I think, some places. So while you're all typing in that information into the questions area, I'll like to mention that that's where you will type questions for the speaker tonight, and also too, you can communicate with me if there's any audio or other types of issues. So, all right, well, good to see everybody found the questions area. Good to see you, Ben, in Houston. And now I'm going to show you another area in the platform, and it is the area where I'm going to post some important links. So right now I'm posting the traderscoach.com website links. So let me all know if you can see that. Just give me a Y or a yes in the attendees area. TJ, good to see you here. Give me a shout out, give me a Y or a yes if you can see the link that I just posted in the chat area. Excellent, thanks so much. Okay, so we welcome you to come visit us at traderscoach.com. Lots of terrific, important information there that you can get on trading and investing, and always fun to kind of browse around and see what's there. All right, well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Wednesday Night Live is an event that we've been doing for a long time, every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern. We bring in an expert on trading, and we cover a lot of different areas, sometimes psychology, sometimes technical analysis, and a variety of options, a number of different things. And tonight, I'm really thrilled to have Fausto Pugliese with us from Cyber Trading University. This is the first time Fausto's been with us, and I've known him in the industry for years and years, and am excited that he's here with us tonight. Fausto is CEO of Cyber Trading University, and he is one of the early SOES bandits who dominated stocks in the 1990s. After semi-retiring as a successful trader in his 20s, Fausto then developed his own trading school. And he's also a 12-time champion of the Money Show Traders Challenge, and he's also known for his live trading events. And I bet you probably will see him at some of the trading expos, etc. So without further ado, Fausto, it's so terrific to have you here. Thank you for coming on the show.
Gene, thank you so much. That was a great interview. I appreciate it. Thanks for that introduction interview. And everyone, thanks for being here on a hot day. Hopefully it was, I don't know where you are, but San Diego is pretty nice. But here in New York, it was scorching. But I see Ben's from Houston. Where's everybody logged in from? Just want to make sure. Art, where are you guys from? Jerry, Bill, Mike? So everybody's logged in. Seattle. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Well, like I said, it's great to be on here with Trey's coach. We've known each other for a very long time, and I look at building good relationships with other partners is you got to be really careful. You want to make sure when you have a partner that you're not conflicting what you're teaching and stuff like that. And even with some of you students out there, sometimes it takes a while before you find the right coach. And you know what? What's great about all of us working together, us partners, and you guys being here, is that great traders never stop learning. And the big thing is that you're always going to learn something when it comes to trading. So what I'm going to talk about, what you guys are going to learn, is I'm going to show you how to find triple-digit gainers in the stock market. I'm also going to show you why I trade with something called level 3. I'm going to show you exactly how the market moves, what makes it move, how to follow the smart money, and how to know if these orders are getting executed or not. Now, how do I know that? And what I'm about to teach you is just like, Gene just told you earlier. I was one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. Now, with that said, I've done so many of these. I have a question for a lot of you. Have any of you guys ever seen me do a presentation before? Just give me a yes or no, just out of curiosity. And it's very important because by you guys answering this, I know exactly what I need to talk about and how in detail I should get and versus not. Art, you never did. Okay, Jerry, you never did. Okay, it's great. You saw me on the Welfare 665, Tim. Okay, good, good. All right, anyone else? All right, wow, so we got a lot of new people here. All right, great. So then, you know what? Let me just tell you a little bit about just what Gene told you earlier. I was one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world. This is the financial capital of the world, as a lot of you know that. And everybody here is basically, they're all day traders. It's basically what they do. They don't say they're day traders, but everyone on the floor of the exchange, everyone, that's what they do. And before I was a successful trader, I was a very successful loser. I blew up a lot of accounts, and for the purpose of, it's not that I didn't know how to make money, I didn't know how to stop losing it. And it was all because of lack of education. I was a 22-year-old kid with an ego. What the hell I knew, to being that young, how to trade the market. But I tell you one thing, I've learned that I definitely wanted to do this. It's a successful business. I see a lot of people making a lot of money, but the question is, how do you do it right? Well, it all started by learning from successful traders. That's what it comes down to. You got to learn from the best in the industry, with anything. And not only that, but you have to surround yourself with good traders. Now, the reason why I teach, because this is a very important question. People always ask, say, Fausto, everyone always talks about how great they are. Well, what makes them great? And if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? Well, I'll tell you why I teach. Because when I left my job, my brokerage firm told me, says, Fausto, the only way you're going to succeed in life is that you better teach people how to trade like you, because when you leave, you're going to lose all this camaraderie. You're going to lose all these people in the business. You're going to lose everyone that's around you here that made you better. You're going to lose the technology, all that stuff. So what did I end up doing? I started Cyber Trading University. And I started teaching people how to trade like me. So that's realistically what I'm looking to do. At the end of this presentation, guys, what I'm going to show everyone, I'm going to teach you how simple trading is. And then when we're done with that, I'm going to invite all of you guys to come to my trading room and see all these people that you see on the screen. The border control, the cowboys, the grandmas, the grandpas, the engineers, the bakers. I'm going down the list. There's just so many people here. The professors at colleges, the doctors, the accountants, real estate brokers, pharmaceutical salesmen. Just the list goes on and on. And you know what you all have in common? They're all out there to do the same thing you're doing, because we're sick and tired giving money and let somebody else do it for us, because you know what? We could do a better job. We don't need them to lose our money. Let us learn how to lose it, and we'll stop doing that. Now, a question for everyone here. Now that you know what kind of trader I am, can everybody just let me know what kind of trader you are? So do we have like stock traders, day traders, swing traders, forex traders, options traders? What kind of traders is everyone out there? Just out of curiosity. You got some forex and stocks, okay, Tim? All right. Stocks, Ben, Art, you do stocks? Okay, good, good. All right. Well, listen, I like stock trading because it's the least most risky. When you get into swing traders, you're holding positions overnight. You do make more money, but where there's more money, there's more risk. And you know what, Jerry, for you being an options trader, I'm telling you one thing right now, it's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. I hope you're a good stock trader, because if you are, then you'll know how to be very good at options. So you got to make sure you got to do one versus the other. Now, what's the whole philosophy behind Cyber Trading University, you might all ask? Basically, following the smart money. That's what we're looking to do. We're going to follow the smart money, because the thing is this. It doesn't matter what you think what the market's going to do. It doesn't matter, what you read. You know what matters? The guy that has an order of 100,000 shares and he's got to buy for his institution, and no matter what it takes, somebody's got to get that stock. So the thing is this: instead of trying to analyze, why don't you just execute? And that's what I didn't know when I started. I couldn't believe how simple trading was. I was making so much more complicated than what it was. So all you have to do, which is what I was trained, and by the way, nothing really has changed 25 years ago than today, other than technology like these webinars work out. Ticket charges went down a lot. Um, Software got better, all those good stuff. But the whole psychology, the whole the style of how things go up and down, nothing really has changed. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the brokerage firms, follow institution investors, and we're going to follow the insiders. Now, how do we do that? Well, this is what we need to do. Does everyone here know how to read a chart? Everybody here read charts? Of course, right? Everyone knows how to read a chart. Do you want to laugh? That was the last thing I was trained what to do. My mentor has told me, says, listen, forget about the charts, okay? Let's just follow the orders, and then the chart will make more sense. But but I'm going to add it as we go along. So let's look over here. Here you have these charts, right? Now, with those charts, what makes a support and resistance levels? Buying and selling, okay, which is supply and demand. So when you're looking at a chart and you want to know why the stock is making a support and resistance levels, let me put this over here really quick so I can see a little bit better. When you want to look at that, basically you want to know, like this stock right here, PDD, why did it go to 32 and in pre-market it trended all the way down at 9:30, opened up at 28, it shot all the way down to 25 and never came back? Who ran it down? Why did it stop at 25? And will it ever go back up? That's what we're gonna see right now. So what makes it? Buying and selling, following the smart money. That's all you need to do. And by doing that, there's only 3 ways that control the market. 3 different levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now, the problem with level 1 and level 2, they're just outdated. Like level 1 only tells you who's buying it and who's like what's the price of the stock. That's it. So if I ask anybody, I don't know, what's Micron Technology trading at, you'll give me a price, I don't know, $38, whatever it is, okay? But the question is it going up? Is it going down? Who's buying it? Who's selling it? What does that mean that you just know the price? You see, when you deal with like a Schwab or you deal with like a Fidelity, I mean, it looks like they're giving you so much information, but they're not. They got all these bells and whistles to confuse you. Doesn't teach you how to buy. And then there was something that came out that was called level 2. And level 2 has basically been outdated since the 90s, and at the end of the day, I know some of you here have level 2. Well, what does it cost? It's free. It costs nothing. And you know what? That's exactly what it's worth. So what happened was there's this new level that's been out for a while. It's called level 3 quotes. Now, does anyone here have level 3 quotes? Anyone just give me a quick yes or no? Anyone have level 3? No one has level 3? Tim, you don't have it? Brian, you don't have it? Okay. All right. So basically what level 3 is, it gives you 70% more volume, where more buyers and sellers. Think about this for a second. What is it worth to you if I was to tell you that you can now see where 70% of the buyers and sellers are? How much better and smarter decisions would you make on your trades? Well, when I was told that, I was like, oh, that's worth everything. I mean, I didn't even know you could even see that data. Well, 25 years ago, to get that data cost me almost $2,000 a month. $2,000. Could you imagine that 25 years ago? You can get an apartment cheaper than that. And I'm like, and this is the funny part. If today, even if I said it costs $2,000 today, people still will be like turned off. Well, you know what my mentor told me? He says, hey, how much money you want to make? I don't know, nice six-figure salary, maybe $250,000. So if you spent $24,000 a year to make $250,000, is that a bad deal? I'm like, no, it's a great deal. Exactly. Now, does it cost 2,000? No, it costs $15, and people still won't buy it, which I still can't figure out in my life of me. Okay, which I know all of you guys are going to ask me at the end. Oh my God, where do I get it? Listen, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to tell you what it is. But the bottom line is, let me start getting you drooling so you know exactly how valuable this data is. So let's talk about what it is. Now, right here on the left-hand side, where it says the buyers, these are all buyers, the right-hand side of the sellers. Now, what you're looking at is the true data of all the orders that are out there, all the buyers and all the sellers. Now, basically, it's a negotiated market. Whoever wants to buy for the most is up on top. Whoever wants to sell for less is down at the bottom, on top on the ass side. Now, let me get my pointer here. All right. So that's basically your supports and resistance levels. Now, let's look right here. AMD. All right. You could see AMD start at 9 o'clock this morning, and the stock never went past $18. Now, do any of you here can take a lucky guess? Why would the stock not go below $18? Why did it not want to break $18, everyone? Think about it. What is that called on a chart? It's called support levels, right? What makes a support levels? Buyers. That's what it does. Those are buyers. Do you see buyers on a chart? No. So how do we predict the future? Well, you got to look at the orders out there. And if you look over here on the level 3, you'll notice that when you look at the right on the bid side, when you work your way from $18.70, once you get down to 18, coincidental, there is 61,000 shares looking to be bought at $18. Now you got buyers for 9,000, 6,000, 5,000, 61,000 shares. How many of you guys are buying 61,000 shares worth of stock out there at $18? How many of you guys are dumping, I don't know, what is that? Almost $1 million worth of stock? I don't think too many of you do that, putting that an idea. Well, guess what? Someone is. So what do you think what do you think that will make that stock not go lower? A big buyer. Let's look at another example. Let's look at a resistance levels. What makes a resistance levels? Sellers. You don't see sellers on a chart. Here you have a stock that went from 1980 all the way to 2050 in less than 15 minutes. You know what? You do the math. If you bought 1,000 shares of stock at $19.80 and you sell it at 2050, that's 70 cents. Multiply that buying 1,000 shares, that is $700. You do that every day, 15 minutes a day, you're talking a really nice six-figure salary. Who doesn't want that job? Listen, you guys are good with math. That's why you're here. But how do we know to take that $700 profit? Why didn't it go to 1,000, 1,500? Why 2050? Well, when you look over here on the level 3, trading is all about having a game plan. Do you notice that there's a 100,000 share seller out there looking to sell $2 million worth of stock? What do you think is going to happen when it gets to $20.50? Okay, It's all about having a game plan. And you know what? If you didn't get out, the stock ran all the way down to 20. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? It's all about supply and demand. Now, can the stock break 2050? Of course it could. Two things got to happen. Number one, someone has to buy from him, or number two, that guy's going to change his mind and cancel his order. Now, this is a very important question to ask all of you. And you know what, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, just be honest with yourself, because losing sucks. It really does. Okay. And I always tell my traders when I train them, my job is not to teach you how to make money. Those take care of themselves. It's the losers you got to learn how to control. So when you have a seller out there, what are you supposed to do? Hope that he's going to leave? Hope that was a mistake? Hope that was a fake order, like it was some fake news on TV? First of all, there's no such thing of fake orders. You can't put an order and advertise it, and pretend it would never existed. You could, if that was the case, you'll never be able to put that order. But think about it. How many of you would make smarter and better decisions if you were able to see those big block orders out there? Well, exactly. All right. Everybody ready to have a little pop quiz? All right. So let's test everyone's knowledge. Looking at this chart right here, what do you guys think the stock's going to do? Go up or down? What do you guys think? Up or down? Down. Okay. Tim says down. Anyone else? What about you, Jerry? Art? Tim, what do you guys think? Oh, Tim, you already answered. Up or down? What do you guys think? Down, right? Down. Okay, let's look at the next slide. All right, so what happens when you have a 23,000 share buyer out there? Everyone's showing 1,000, 3,000, 2,000, 23,000 shares. Now remember, you all said the stock was going down, right? Okay. Now you all of a sudden, what do you need for the stock to stop going lower? You need a buyer. There's a 23,000 share buyer out there. Remember that stock you said was going down? Well, guess what? Once it hit that 1650, boom, thing went up to 1680. So, and you're wondering, that's weird. Why did it go up? Well, it went up because there was a big block buyer out there. That is what we call support levels. Ever heard of that word before? Now, when you put two and two together and you start realizing how important it is to have these big block orders out there, it just makes things that much easier. Let's try another one. Where is the now we're getting rid of every indicator, every chart, every tool. Where is the resistance level on the stock symbol AMAT? Where do you guys think resistance levels would be? You see how you guys are starting to chat in the numbers quicker? Do you notice that? That is called reaction. That's called impulse. Okay? You're not analyzing it. You're not figuring it out. You look down there, boom, 138,000 shares looking to be sold at $40. Okay? I don't think you need to spell it out any more than that. What does your chart says it's doing? When you look at the chart, what's the chart doing? Up or down? It's going up, right? So think about it. Everybody out there who's been watching the stock, using everything out there, the tools that are out there, they're predicting it's going up. You just predicted it's going down. Guess what? the stock went down. When the chart we just saw previously, it went up. It just went to $40, and it just came right back down to $39.40. You just threw away a huge profit. Mark, yes, it's being recorded. But what's even better, Mark, is that unfortunately anybody can make a nice looking PowerPoint, but I am going to show you this stuff real time in the live markets for a whole week, because fortunately for you, I practice what I preach. Okay, so but what my job is right now is I'm here to kind of show all of you guys, what is the whole philosophy behind Cyber Trading University. And guess what? This is not something that I invented. Okay, this is how Wall Street trades. And if you don't believe me, turn on the financial stations like CNBC, and when they show you scenes of the floor of the exchange, because they're broadcasting there. Only reason why they're broadcasting is, the New York Stock Exchange is like a ghost town. Everything's electronic. Pretty soon you'll be able to have bar mitzvahs there. I had a cocktail reception there. So, I mean, there's no need to have it anymore. Everything's electronic. But if you look at those guys, they're all looking at orders. That's all. So when it comes to trading, everyone, I came up with a word. I call these iceberg orders. And the reason why they're big iceberg orders is because it's these orders that make that, people always look at what's on top of the water. They didn't look at what's the bottom of the water. Remember, it didn't work too well for the Titanic. So, you got to know where these iceberg orders are, so you don't crash into them, because if you do, you're going to sink and you're going to lose all your money. Remember, it's not what everybody else tells you. You see, by the time you figure this stuff out, with all these crazy indicators. Now, listen, I'm not trying to knock indicators, but for me as a day trader, I don't have time to wait and see what's going to happen, 2-3 minutes later. I need to see where those orders are now. So I'm already one step ahead of everyone else. Now, when you implement level 3 and you see these orders out there, it just makes it that much easier. Stock goes from $30.90 down to $30, goes back to $30.50. Why did it go up? I don't know. Maybe because there's a 136,000 share buyer out there. The whole goal about being a good trader is just the KISS method, just keeping it super simple. That's what it comes down to. When people go out there, I know everybody wants to learn how to trade and stuff like that, and you should listen to all different types of people. And not only that, but you should see what they're doing and how they're doing, and if they're making money, but don't look at the trader. Look at their students and see if they're getting it. That's the key. But when you know their philosophy and it makes a little sense, and if you get it, then you should try it. But the thing is, you don't have to go crazy and go too deep, 2 feet in. 2 feet in. You got to test the waters. But trading is not as complicated as people make it to be. And it was so funny because when I was trained this stuff, I was telling my boss back then, I'm like, I don't understand, why is nobody else teaching this stuff? They're like, why? Because if I told you had to dish out $2,000, okay, a month for this stuff, how do you think that's going to work out for you? And I says, oh, it makes sense. Okay, exactly. So this is what you need to do, Fausto. There's a winner and there's a loser in trading, and you're going to be the winner. So all those people that want free stuff and free lunches and free news and free this, free that, those are the people we want to trade against. Those are the people we're going to win from. Those are the people we're going to take the other side. And I'm like, isn't that rude? I'm like, isn't that like, does that sound like, why are you in this business? Are you here to make money, or are you here to blow all your money? Because someone's going to take it from you, and it damn well is not going to be us. So all you have to do is learn how to play the game. Now, one last thing I just want to cover is time and sales, because I always get people always tell me, well, how do you know these orders are real? How do you know that they didn't cancel or whatever? Well, did you look at the time and sales window? Because those are the confirmations of every transaction that takes place. Just following those orders and having them color coordinated by green and red. You know, if you see a lot of greens in time and sales, only means one thing. Sellers are getting executed. People are buying it from them. Why would anybody buy a stock that's going down? I don't think they think it's going down. So same thing. Why would people be selling it? Why would you get a lot of transactions in red, red, red? It's going down. You want to hope all you want? Yeah. Well, didn't work too good for this guy. 59,000 shares, 4,000, 1,000, 2,000, 2,700. Green, 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 up, up, up on the chart. AMD breaks right through 30, goes to 31. Do you know that a chart gets its data from time and sales? What a coincidental tool is that, right? That thing just works in our benefit. So when you're looking at these trades and you're seeing these orders and you're wondering, are these guys getting executed? Are they canceling? Whatever it is, it's the time and sales that are going to give you that confirmation of what it's doing. Because you know, when you get a lot of reds and a lot of selling, it only means one thing. It's going down. And you don't want to go down with the ship. It stinks. It really does. Remember what I told you earlier. It's not about the winners. It's controlling the losers. It's the losers that crush everybody. It's the losers that put everybody in a hole. It's the losers that prevent you from buying other stocks to continue to be very successful. But if you don't know how to play the game, you're going to have a tough time making a very successful career in trading. Now, I don't like to scare you guys because that's not fun. Trading is a lot of fun when you're making money. But you got to know how to play the game. And the only way you learn how to play the game is to surround yourself with good traders. And that's why we're here today. We're here to invite you, to show you and how to find stocks and make a day's pay, making a dollar on 250 shares. Do you know what $250 is over the course of a year? It's a nice little, I don't know, $500,000, what was it, $50,000 salary? You make $500 a day, that's 50 cents on 1,000 shares. I don't know, pretty good money right there. I'll take it. Now, last thing I do want to cover is, how do we find these big movers? Where they come from? Well, listen, it's not that hard. You just got to look in the big percentage gainers and losers. You see, here at CyberTrade University, we start trading around at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we'll be posting Twitter leads, and we'll show you this stuff live. And we'll broadcast audio live. And we'll go through the watch list live. Because you know what? Not every one of these stocks are actually tradable. But we'll look for those stocks of 53%, 38%. Why are they up? Are they continue to go up? Are there shorts? That's what we're looking at. So it's basically just three different things. You percentage gainers and losers, because you need to find the stocks you want to trade, see where the orders are, and look at the time and sales and if they're getting executed. And then maybe if you need to, you look at the chart to just have a game plan. Where was previous supports and resistance levels? That's about it. You don't need to do any more than that. SOLY, look at the stock. The day before was $10. It ended up going to 28. Now, don't ask me why it went up, who ran it up, who cares? Do you really care what SOLY does, or you'd rather just make money? Because if you care what it is, you're never going to make money in trading. Because there's a lot of stocks out there that are really good companies and haven't gone anywhere in the last 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know. Where's AT&T at? And then you get people that say, Oh, but it pays a good dividend. Well, unfortunately, in this business, we're not in the dividend business. We can't live making 5% a year, okay, on our money. We try to make 5% a day. But you got to know how to keep things very, very simple. So listen, enough's enough. Let's stop getting confused. Let's learn how to keep things very simple, how to trade today's markets, learn how to go out there and make a day's pay, because the income is so unlimited when it comes to trading. Let me tell you something. Once you get it, it's just numbers. It really is. It doesn't take you that much to learn how to be very consistent and successful trader. And you know what's great about the whole part of it? You could do this anywhere in the world. And it's not even a full-time job. Hell, we only trade about an hour a day here at Cybertrade University. We pretty much trade the first hour of the open, and if we want to, maybe we'll trade the last hour of the close. That's about it. Now, this is also very important, guys. I want to share with you. Cybertrade University has been in business for over 25 years. We do education for more brokerage firms than anyone in the industry. And let me tell you something about these brokerage firms. Do you think they would want us to teach their students if we're teaching them how to lose money? Do you know how much scrutiny and a liability that they're in if they knew that what we were talking about was not compliant? And let me tell you something very important. You want to make sure that, every school that you deal with has that type of credibility, regardless what you read on the internet. Another thing we always like to share, we're also a 5-star on Google. Look what our students are saying about us. Because you know what? We've changed lives. How many of you guys are on Social Security or have a pension and worry about you're going to run out of money? I hear it all the time. How many of you guys are out of a job or got lost their job to someone because they gave it to someone cheaper? How many of you were, worrying about, keeping up with the bills or want to maybe just pay your kids, so they don't have to be stressed out, so you can spend more time with them? We still got to make money to the day you die. So this is what I'm proposing. Let's all learn from mentors. Let me show you how to spend more time with your family, do the things you always want to enjoy in life, and see the proof in your own eyes. So this is what I'm offering you guys. I want you to come into my cyber group trading room. It's a live professional trading room that's online. And I'm going to give you a trial for a week. I want everything that I spoke about today. You're going to see this from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, Eastern time. Okay. I'm going to teach you pre-market. You're going to see level 3. You're going to see orders getting executed. You know what the fun part about the whole thing? You're going to see other people make money. And do me a favor, please don't count my money. This is not the Fausto show. I'm not here to pump my chest and brag how great I am. Knowing I'm a 12-time world champion. Actually, I've been a 25-time world champion. Half the people didn't show up, actually. But that doesn't make you money. You need to know is, could Fausto teach me how to make money? Is everything that he's saying makes sense? And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to see the facts. I want you to see it with your own eyes. Sit back, enjoy everything that you always want to do in life, and see if it really is true. So this is what I'm offering. For $9, I know this is a joke, but like $9, why so cheap? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I want to make sure you're a real person. We want to make sure that you're not a heckler, you're not a competitor, whatever it is. I mean, I know Gene would never do that, but in general, we want to make sure that you're a little bit bought into what you're doing. Because the thing is this, you take us seriously, we're going to take you seriously. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the professional trading room, 3 daily market meetings, a morning and afternoon watch list, your own personal education advisor, live Q&A training session. And if you're not happy after the week, I'll give you $9. Trust me, guys, I don't need you $9. Okay. I live here in New York. We've got to pay $15 an hour for a person. I'm going to lose money on the deal. Trust me. But this is the ultimate goal. Where we go from this is because if you see what goes on in the trading room and you see people make money, you're going to want to really know how to do it right. And then that's where we're going to talk afterwards. So this is what I'm going to throw in there. If you register right now, I will personally give you a free coaching session. Let me explain to you what the whole purpose of this whole situation is. For me to make money, because I'm not doing this for my health, okay? And you wouldn't expect me to do it. But for me to make money, I need to train new traders all the time, okay? Listen, trading is not for everybody. And please understand that. And you're better off learning, knowing that, if it's for you or not. Because you think $9 expensive, try ignorance, okay? So do it right the first time, sample it out, sign up today. You start tomorrow morning, or you can start on Monday, whenever you want, and see what the truth is behind trading, day trading, and if people actually do make money at this. So with that said, guys, I'm up pretty much out of time here, and I believe Gene is going to add the link right there. If you click on the ctu.co trial, we'll get you registered, and you'll be able to start immediately. But does anyone have any questions? Any other questions? Kind of a little bit out of breath myself. I know it's a long night, but with that, like I said,
I think they're a shy group. That's what it is.
It's nothing to be shy about when it comes to trading. Sometimes it's a little overwhelmed, Gene. That's where it comes down to it.
Maybe it's kind of cool that you do. You sort of have a different twist on analyzing the markets than we do, and it's kind of interesting to see what you're looking at. I think Ben will. I'll have to tell him you were So's Bandit. He's going to find that really interesting.
Yeah, we were the last. I was one of the last of the Mohegans, and people like when you saw a picture earlier, I was with Kramer, and I told Kramer that, and he's like, what? You guys are still around? He goes, dude, you're still
Yeah,
in the game. That's great. He says,
yeah,
listen, that's what it's all about. You got to know how to survive. I've been through tough times. When the financial crisis in
sure.
'08, the internet bubble in 2000. You just got to know how to. You just got to know how to take a loss and go the opposite way, because you could short.
Well,
And
and
you
your
make a lot more
psychology
money.
gets affected when you take a loss, so that's a whole other piece of it. So a couple of questions are coming in. This is
What
interesting.
platform?
So Ben wants to know, what do you think of TradeStation? And I can tell you Bennett and Fausto both love TradeStation.
Yeah, I was actually we ran a show on TradeStation. I know they put it on hold. They're reevaluating in September. But yeah, we actually broadcast that platform. Very good platform for stock traders. And what's nice, it has the matrix, so it will be showcased in the trading room, the TradeStation platform. So you're in good shape. I actually have accounts with like 7 brokerage firms, because I need to know all of them, how they work. But when it comes, and I keep my accounts separate depending on kind of trading I'm doing. When it comes to day trading, that's one of the 2 that I use.
And then Kevin wants to know about the $9 program. How long does that last?
Okay, so when you register now, it's gonna last a week. So I'm gonna go back over here, and what's gonna happen is you're going to get a crash course, a couple of videos. You're going to get your own personal education advisor. We have a huge staff at Cybertrain University. So one thing I'm really big on, Kevin, is customer service. We know that, listen, you got money on the line, and last thing you want to do is you want to make sure someone's going to care about your money as much as you do. I know how that goes. And the thing is this: you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose by seeing what the truth is. And even, I know that some of you said, well, I'm a Forex trader. I don't know. Listen, you might like the stock market. You might think like, holy cow, this is much easier. Remember, you're in the business to make money, and you could do both, you know. But I'm telling you this: if you're doing something, and you're not seeing progress after a month or two, you better just go out of business and start something else. It shouldn't take you that long. I was talking to someone the other day, Gene. Someone was saying, oh, how long have you been doing? Oh, I've been paper trading for about a year. I'm like, a year? I hope you're paying rent for a year too, and paying no taxes for a year. How the hell are you going to live on, paper trading? Well, I'm still listen, if it's not working out, it's time to move on.
Well, I think
Um,
everyone learns at a different pace, probably, right?
it's a long time. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm still on
Ben
that
wants,
diet after a year, and I'm actually gaining weight. Yeah. Okay. So it's really working.
that's a good analogy. Ben wants to know how much does it cost after the trial?
After the trial, it's 149 a month. After the trial, Ben. So if you want to continue it, if you don't worry about it. Listen, there's no tricks to this and that. If you don't want to do it, listen. The last thing I want to do is if you don't want to be there, I don't want you there. That's the whole goal. I also do mainly do day trading. No, Kevin, I also do I do some swing trading in the trading room. Once in a while, I'll do a couple options trades because I'll see an opportunity there where I might want to consider doing it, but that's not my first order of execution. It's always day trade. It's just nice to be in cash. You know what I mean? You're in the money's there. You have to worry about it. Always looking at your phone and stuff like that, Kevin. So that's the reason why. But that's just me. Everybody's different. Any other questions?
Well, I think that was a good group, huh?
Yeah, yeah, very good group. It was always a pleasure coming on. And so with that said, listen, guys, I hope I didn't I hope I made it worth your while for showing up this late at night. Hope I didn't spoil your dinner. And I know you're in San Diego, so it's still a little early. I'm over here East Coast. It's about 8:30 here. But
Right.
but listen, give us a try, see if it's for you, and then hopefully it all works out. All right, guys. So thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. Good luck. Happy trading, and hopefully see you soon. Thanks. Thanks, Gene.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for presenting today, Fausto. That was a great presentation, and honestly, I got to say, $9. It's worth definitely trying it out. And I think even Fausto said he'd send you your $9 back if you didn't like it, which sounds like everyone's definitely going to like it. So click the link. I have that in the chat area. And great to see you all here this Wednesday. And we'll see you next Wednesday for Wednesday Night Live. And have a great night.